Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining today's webinar, where we will be walking through the integration between Sugar and Zoom and Sugar and Slack. As Jesse said, my name is Caleb Daig, and I'm an account executive with Fay Business Systems Group. I've been with Fay for about 5.5 years and have been working with Sugar for about longer than that. In terms of the agenda for today's call, we do have 30 minutes blocked off. We probably only need about 15 to 20 to walk through some of these items. But we'll give you some background on Fay Business Systems Group, why we think we have the right to give you a webinar today. Then I'll walk through the Zoom integration, talk through some of the features of that and the benefits of it, as well as the Slack integration. And we'll look at a live demo of the Slack integration as well. So real quick, some background on Fay Business Systems Group. So we have over 25 plus years of experience, more than 500 clients today. And we are a global company. So we do have offices, our headquarters in Southern California, but we do have offices across the US and across the world. We do focus on CRM, customer experience, financial software, marketing automation, and custom solutions. On the CRM side, we are a Sugar CRM Elite partner. We were the global reseller of the year in 2020 and a global partner of the year in 2018. We have some leading integrations in the Sugar ecosystem. So some of the most popular ones include our Sage 100 integration, QuickBooks, Jira. We also integrate with Zendesk as well. This is just a very quick slide, just giving us some background, showing you kind of how we built a business around Sugar. So these are all the different integrations that we've built and that we support. So of course, the two that we'll go through today will be Zoom and Slack. But as I mentioned, some of the other popular ones would be QuickBooks, Sage 100. We've done Sugar messaging, which allows you to send text messages through Sugar. We've enhanced the Sugar mobile app with a product called Sugar Mobile E, which allows you to do geo mapping and check-ins as well for outbound sales teams. So just some of our integrations here. You can find more information about these on our website, or feel free to reach out if any of these spark your interest. We can show you a one-on-one demo. Okay. So to jump into the content for today's webinar. So first off, what is Zoom? Sure, everyone wouldn't be joining this call if you had not heard of Zoom before, but Zoom is the leader in meetings, chat, and secure connections. It was actually founded in 2011 by Eric Yuan, which interestingly enough, he also helped to build the WebEx platform, but eventually left WebEx and decided to actually build and found Zoom. So Zoom has obviously been very prevalent throughout the pandemic that we're enduring right now. Zoom, interesting statistics on Zoom. I found that it was actually used by 90,000 schools in 20 countries during the COVID-19 outbreak. When everything started back in March. They actually, it was very interesting to me that they actually decided to lift that 40-minute time limit for free meetings for teachers. My wife is a teacher, so I found that pretty cool. I didn't know that and hadn't heard that before. Also, on the right here, just some statistics on how much Zoom has been downloaded throughout this year. So in January of 2020, Zoom daily downloads were 56,000. And by March 2020, when the pandemic broke out, about 2.13 million daily downloads. Also found it interesting that the only other apps out there that were installed over 300 million times in one quarter, along with Zoom, were Pokemon Go and TikTok. So there's some trivia for you. So Zoom without Sugar, it's very manual. So before we actually came out with this integration, this was me, day to day. I had to pull open my Zoom app on my MacBook here. I had to schedule my meeting. I had to set the date, set the time. That would open up my Outlook, where I would then have to add people to that meeting. And then from there, if I did want that meeting to sync to Sugar, I would either have to manually sync it in my Sugar instance, or I could use something like Sugar Connect to automatically sync my meetings. So just a very manual process, pretty time consuming, pretty frustrating to just kind of go through these steps when all I really wanted to do was send out a meeting invite. So with that, we came out with our Sugar and Zoom integration. So the Sugar Zoom integration actually integrates into the Sugar Meetings module. It actually allows you to invite Sugar contacts to Zoom meetings. So you can actually add any of the contacts leads inside of your Sugar instance directly to that meeting, and they'll get the invite. You can launch Zoom meetings directly from Sugar, so you don't have to have a separate Zoom app up and launch them from there. You can actually do all of that directly inside of Sugar. You can edit and delete Zoom meetings within your Sugar instance, and of course create those Zoom meetings as well. It's very easy to use. It's very intuitive. Takes a few minutes to train someone on how to use it, and then it allows you to kind of cut out all of those other steps that I talked about, and you can do all of it inside of Sugar. So some quick screenshots on what this looks like. So if you're familiar with Sugar and you're looking to create a meeting, you would actually just have a new panel up there at the top for Zoom. And once you select that Zoom option, it's automatically going to change your meeting type to Zoom. It's going to add your Zoom meeting credentials and the Zoom link into the location field there. And also in this screen at the bottom, you can see where you have the ability to add additional guests as well. Okay, so very quick, very easy. You can launch your Zoom meetings from directly inside of Sugar. Other screenshots just to show you, so within the list view that you have available within the meetings module, you can have the launch Zoom meeting button, where if I had a bunch of meetings today, I would just go down this list. Instead of opening up my Outlook to launch the meeting from there, or opening up my Zoom account, I could just actually launch them directly from Sugar. Okay. And lastly, you get to report on all of this as well, because obviously it's within the meetings module. So you would be able to track all of the Zoom meetings that are being held by each individual user, as well as the number of Zoom meetings by month as well. All right. So it's a real simple, easy to use integration, but it does have some very key benefits. Of course, it is going to save your users time from having to take a couple steps just to send out a meeting, Sugar. And with that, saving that time, it's also going to increase, obviously, their productivity. And lastly, it's also going to increase the user adoption of Sugar. So, doing all of this inside of Sugar, sending out the meeting invites, actually gives your users a reason to log in and stay inside of Sugar, instead of opening up Sugar and then opening up your Zoom app and then opening up your email to send out the actual meeting invite. You can do all of that inside of Sugar. Okay. So that's the Zoom integration. If anyone has any questions on that, would like to see it on a live demo or even check out a trial of it, you can feel free to reach out to us. The next integration to walk through is going to be Slack. So what is Slack? So Slack is a channel-based messaging platform, very competitive with Microsoft Teams over this past year. According to Slack actually reduces emails by 32% and meetings by 27%. So we use Slack internally here at FABSG, and so I have obviously all of my coworkers here that I can chat with about different projects, about different opportunities, and we have different channels that are all organized in there where we can quickly get to resolutions instead of setting up a meeting or sending various emails back and forth. Slack has over 2,000 apps and 750 bots in the Slack app directory. Okay. So our Sugar Slack integration. So a couple of very high level features of this that can help you tremendously to save a lot of time. First off is the ability to search Sugar from Slack. So on the right here, you can see a screenshot inside of Slack that shows you all of the different commands that our app actually understands. So you have the ability to search records inside of this Slack bot, which I'll show you in a moment. All right. So very quick and easy to just type in \sugar search and then put in the name of an account, and it's automatically going to pull up a phone number, a link to that account, their address, so all pertinent information that you would have to maybe open up Sugar to search and find. So it's all going to be brought right back to you inside of your Slack. Okay. You can also send a Sugar record and a message to a Slack user or Slack channel from within Sugar. So I'll show this to you on the demo, but you will have the ability to open up an account, an opportunity, a lead, and actually push that record along with a message to a channel or over to an individual. So tons of use cases for this. If you have an opportunity that you're working that needs some help by another group within your organization or an individual, you can quickly send that opportunity record with a message directly over to that individual or to that channel. Lastly, you do have the ability to configure record updates to send a Slack message to the account owner. So again, lots of use cases for this. If an account went from active to inactive, that might automatically notify the sales rep or the account manager on that record in real time. So they're going to get a Slack notification for that. If an opportunity was updated from open to closed won, that could automatically send a notification to the sales rep. Okay, so I'll jump out of the PowerPoint here and we'll jump into our demo instance. So I am going to show Slack inside of the browser here. Of course, this would work within the desktop app as well. So this is our Sugar Slack dev site. Down here within the apps, you would see your Sugar Slack integration. Very simple to install this. You just have to add an app, find our Sugar Slack integration, put in your Sugar URL, your username, and your password. And so within this Sugar Slack integration, I can start to type in commands and it's going to search Sugar for me. So if I type in, \sugar search contact, this is going to show me all of the commands that it's actually going to understand. And if I type in \sugar account Jungle, looking for one of my accounts, it's automatically going to pull up Jungle Systems for me. So from here, I can actually, see the phone number. I can directly dial out. I can see their email address. I can click on the record, and it's going to open up that record inside of my Sugar instance. So quick and easy way to search inside of your Sugar instance directly within Slack. Right. So now as I'm actually within my Sugar instance, you'll notice that there is an Add to Slack button here. So if I click on Add to Slack, I'm going to validate my Slack address. It's going to pull up all of the Slack channels and all of the direct messages that I have open within my Slack account. So I can actually select one of these like Sugar, and I can say, hey, can someone take a look at this record? And then I can just send this, and within my Slack interface, you'll see that lit up, and you'll see that in the Sugar chat here, Simon, who I'm logged in as, posted that message, and there directly is a link to Jungle Systems. And so within this channel, we can start a conversation and start to collaborate on this Jungle Systems account. Okay, so the same would go for a contact, for an opportunity, for a lead. Any of the custom modules that you would build, you have the ability to add to Slack there. Okay. And the last kind of feature of this would be the ability to set up all these Slack preferences. So based on the owner of the account, you can actually set up notifications based on when any of these specific fields are updated. So for example, if the service level was updated on one of my accounts, I might want to know about that. And so if I click that service level and save these preferences, if someone were to come into any of my accounts and update that service level, I would get notified within our Slack bot. Right. So again, as we talked about, other use cases for that, if somebody updated an opportunity inside of here, the sales stage, that might automatically notify a channel or notify an individual user. Also, we have this set up in our live, Sugar Slack integration. If a new lead is assigned to me as a sales rep, I automatically get notified that that new lead's been assigned to me. And it shows a link to that lead where I can just open up their record, find out more details about them from within Sugar, and make the call from there. Right. So those are just some of the high level, features of this Slack integration. Again, if you are interested in testing this out, or seeing a live demo of it, you can feel free to reach out to us. So I'll jump back into my PowerPoint, and lastly, just kind of talk about some of the benefits of this integration. Is that it does definitely allow for better organization of your conversations. So you can set up all of those different channels and direct messages that are relative to maybe specific records that you have inside of Sugar. It definitely makes it easier to search. You don't have to open up Sugar to search for an account or for an opportunity. It allows for your company to really increase collaboration. So instead of all of those emails going back and forth about an opportunity or about a project, you can collaborate, directly inside of Slack and pull in data from Sugar into that Slack channel. Again, Slack benefits: you can, get message notifications in real time. So if a field updated, if a new lead or a new record was assigned to you, you would get that notification in real time in your Slack. And again, this all goes to help with just increasing that user adoption of Sugar, just making it more sticky for your users, giving them a reason to actually use Sugar and make it more part of their day-to-day lives, so you can get the most return on your investment for Sugar.